If you don't like a particular vegetable, let's say in a recipe I have broccoli and you don't like broccoli because you just love Brussels sprouts, it's fine to change a vegetable for a vegetable as long as it's in the same phase. So for example, you can change a phase 1 vegetable for a phase 1 vegetable, or a phase 2 vegetable for a phase 2 vegetable, but you can't change a phase 1 vegetable for a phase 1 grain. So it has to be in the same category and out of the same phase. Hi, it's Haylie Pomroy, and on this DVD I want to take you through a 7-day metabolism makeover. Everything that you'll need in a day-by-day plan that's going to include grocery lists, meal planning, cooking tips, success boosters, a full week of recipes, and daily inspirations from me. You're going to need to go to our website and download all the PDFs that are necessary as you and I go over this together. So the first thing I want you to do is to select your meal map. You can choose between a standard meal map, a vegetarian meal map, or a vegan one. And on each of those, I'm going to take you through it day by day what to do. So go get your meal maps and let's get started. So on the first day of your 7-day metabolism makeover, you're going to be in phase 1 of the fast metabolism diet. Remember, phase 1 incorporates all of those complex carbs that give you a ton of energy. Your body's going to enjoy high glycemic fruits, and vegetables are unlimited. Don't forget that through this whole plan. So let's start day 1 of your 7-day makeover. So the thing I want you to remember is that you're going to eat within 30 minutes of waking. And the first thing I want you to have for this day is oatmeal and berries. Oatmeal is, like I said, rich in tons of complex carbs. It's got some protein in it, and the berries will help stabilize the blood sugar. So let's say if you're one of those people that maybe they get up and they have to run out the door and they don't have time to make oatmeal and berries, don't forget that you can always swap your snack for your breakfast. So your snack in day 1 is going to be an apple. But let's say if you got up really early and you're running out the door, you could have your apple first and you could have your oatmeal once you got to work. So if you get up at 7, I need you to make sure that you've eaten by 7:30. Whether it's breakfast, that oatmeal and berries, or whether it's your snack, an apple on this day, I want to make sure that you get that food in to start your metabolism right away. Then at lunch, which will happen around noon or 1, but remember, if your schedule is not typical or not traditional, it doesn't matter as long as you start your time within 30 minutes of waking and that you eat every 3 to 4 hours. So let's say lunch is at 12 or 1. On the first day of the fast metabolism diet, you're going to be in phase 1, and so you're going to have a phase 1 chili. Remember, in all of the information that I have you download, every single recipe's there. When you have your chili, don't forget you need a fruit. So why don't you just go ahead and grab an apple? This week we want to make it super simple. Your grocery list is already planned out for you. So when you pick, this is the standard meal map. When you pick that standard meal map, you're going to print out the standard grocery list. So then around 3 or 4 o'clock, this is day 1, you're going to have an orange. We're going to use an orange to help stabilize that blood sugar, give you that oomph to kind of get through that afternoon slump. It's already on your grocery list. And a lot of times, what a lot of my clients do is even if they're staying at home or if they're heading off for work, they kind of pack all of their day's meals. Really easy is apples and oranges are much easier to kind of travel with. So, you know, you can throw them in your car, you can leave them on your desk at work. But these are really great ones to do, especially when you're just getting your feet wet and you're beginning this program. For dinner on day 1, we're going to have a sweet potato, broccoli, and quinoa. Don't forget, during this day, we're giving you lots of complex carbs, so it is my goal for you that you're going to go ahead and do some cardio. You can do cardio in the morning, you can do cardio in the afternoon. Either way, it's best. I really like you to not try to do it too late in the evening. Remember, we're trying to reduce stress, and the body's natural rhythm in the evening is to kind of slow down and relax. And so I want you to try and do that earlier in the day. I have a success booster for you, and I really love it when people do it on day 1 of the fast metabolism diet, and that's to incorporate some deep breathing. There's some really interesting studies about that, and they showed that 16 to 17 deep breaths can actually reduce your cortisol level better than any pill out there on the market. So you can do it several times a day, that's great, but if you've never done deep breathing before, really deep belly breathing, remember to do it sitting down because it can actually make you a little lightheaded. So let's go ahead and move to day 2. I want to be here for you all 7 days. So on day 2, you have your grocery list, you'll have your meal map that's all filled out for you. And you're going to wake up in the morning, and within 30 minutes, you're going to have oatmeal and peaches. Now, if you're an individual that does cardio both days, if you're really working out hard, don't hesitate to add a little bit of protein that's appropriate for phase 1 into your breakfast. Some of my clients like to have some egg whites if they're going to be working out. Some of my clients maybe like to use a little bit of turkey bacon or something like that. You can go ahead and add, and don't forget also that veggies are unlimited always. So about 3 to 4 hours later, you're going to have some berries for your snack. And for lunch, you're going to have a leftover sweet potato, broccoli, and quinoa that you had for dinner the day before. We do this so that it shortens your time in the kitchen, that it really helps to maximize the food that you're making and preparing that you can use the next day. But at lunch, which is different than at dinner on phase 1, you're going to add a fruit, so why don't you have another apple? So on day 2, your snack, a really great snack for the afternoon is an orange. It's very high in vitamin C. It helps enrich the adrenals. And remember, we're working on the adrenals during phase 1. For dinner, this is one of my favorites. You're going to have the chicken sausage with brown rice fazouli. It is so delicious. You only need to do 1 day of cardio, but if you're one of those people that likes to do 2, remember what I said about considering adding a little bit of extra protein to maybe breakfast or maybe even post-workout. Your pH, and we're going to talk about that in the pH video, is going to help you determine if you're getting enough protein for your body. Always remember that spices and herbs are unlimited. So cayenne pepper, cracked red chili, lemons and limes, those are all things that are going to help stoke the burn. So you've just completed 2 days of phase 1, and you've really nourished and enriched your adrenals. Let's move on to day 3 of your first week of the fast metabolism diet. We're moving into phase 2, where your body's going to unlock stored fat. Remember, when you wake up, I want you to eat within 30 minutes of waking. This morning, we're going to start with some spinach and mushroom and scrambled egg whites. It is so delicious. You can use things like Tabasco, cracked red pepper, any kinds of herbs and spices. And a lot of times on phase 2, what my clients like to make their stir fries or their scrambles with is a little bit of vegetable broth. It's a great way to cook things up. For your snack, you're going to make the garden meatballs. These are wonderful, and one of the things that I tell a lot of people to do is make a ginormous batch of them and freeze them and put them in the freezer for a phase 2 snack for later on. Then at lunch, about 3 to 4 hours later, you're going to have some lemon chicken. All of the recipes are there for you day by day. For a snack, you're going to have some stuffed red bell peppers. This is another one that I like to make 2 days worth of snacks for. A lot of my clients, remember, bell peppers fall into that vegetable category, so you can nosh on those all day long. They're anti-inflammatory and they really help your body stimulate the burn. Then for dinner, you're going to have the spicy red pepper fish with kale. This one is so fast to make, and everyone in my house loves it. I need you to do a little bit of weight-bearing exercise. This is the first day of phase 2. You're going to be on phase 2 for 2 days. So at least one of those 2 days, I need you to do some sort of resistance training. If that means, heavy weights with a trainer at the gym, great. If it means simply doing one exercise, even with one muscle in the body, that's going to help stimulate those hormones for micro repair. A great success booster that I love to incorporate in phase 2 is a salt scrub. Remember, we're releasing historical fat. So any areas in the body where you might store fat, it's great to get in there. You can buy, fancy salt scrubs, or you can simply use coarse ground sea salt and scrub those areas where the body likes to hold on to historical fat. So day 4 of your 7-day makeover, you're still on phase 2. And something I want you to remember, a lot of times people say, oh my goodness, maybe I'm craving some sweets, maybe I'm missing my carbs. Go to your supplemental DVDs. There is a whole dessert section for you that has each of the phases, but I really like employing those during phase 2. Those, like the lemon and lime popsicles, the lemon and lime sorbet, the lime and romaine lettuce sorbet, the mint sorbets, because those fall under the vegetable category, you can have, and lemons and limes, you can have those at any time. So now you're on day 4, you're still in phase 2, you're gonna get up, you're gonna have breakfast within 30 minutes of waking. You're gonna have breakfast, it's gonna be your Southwestern stir fry. This is delicious, and this is another one of those that's, if you make a big batch, you can freeze up, and later you can throw it on a salad when you're done with this week one. Your snack about 3 to 4 hours later is going to be turkey bacon. And I actually like to use this with sometimes cucumber spears. Remember, vegetables are unlimited, so you can always layer that on top. You're going to use lunch for leftovers. You're going to do lettuce cups with chicken and cucumbers. And then 3 to 4 hours later, your snack is going to be chicken breasts with pickle spears. Dinner, you're going to have salad with mushrooms and some of those garden meatballs. Remember how I said to make a big batch? This is the way to reuse or recycle these foods so that you're not in the kitchen all the time. If you're one of those people that likes to do weight-bearing exercises twice during phase 2, that's perfectly fine, but again, make sure that you check out that pH DVD. This is going to let you know if you're getting enough alkaline vegetables in phase 2, if your pH is staying stable, if you're getting enough protein to actually lay down healthy muscles. Don't forget about things like herbal teas. Sometimes with a high level of protein, if you're not getting enough vegetables, people's bowels can slow down a little bit. Because you're releasing historical fats, and historical fats are where the body stores fat-soluble toxins, it is so important that you're eliminating as efficiently as you're detoxifying. You can also do things like chamomile, milk thistle tea, which is really great for the liver, because this is the phase that we're working on the liver to scavenge those fats. So on day 5 of your 7-day makeover, you're going to get to unleash the burn. So we're really focusing on the hormones here. I want you to really think about this and think about how you feel in your body. These are going to affect things like sleep and sleep patterns, mood, libido. And so I just like to have you check in with yourself. Again, when you wake up, it's very important that you eat within 30 minutes of waking. It's so important for you to kickstart that metabolism as soon as you rise. On the first day of phase 3, you're going to have cashews with quinoa hot cereal and berries and a slice of cucumber. You can have as much cucumber as you want, actually. Your body needs the cellulose, those enzymes that the vegetables bring, in order for you to break up those fats so that the body can convert them to hormones. Then 3 to 4 hours later, you're going to have some raw celery and almond butter. This is so good, but oftentimes I like to put a little bit of raw cacao nibs or cacao powder over it. Sometimes people like to put a little bit of cinnamon or stevia. Remember, you want to have pleasure in what you eat. You want to enjoy your food. For lunch, we're going to have turkey burgers with sweet potatoes and peaches. It is so important that we add those fruits in at lunch. It's really going to help us keep our blood sugar stable and provide the micronutrients for the hormones to repair. One of my favorites is this 3 to 4 o'clock snack or your afternoon snack, which is guacamole and cucumbers. You can use things like bell peppers, you can use things like celery, kale chips that you make at home, because you can use those healthy oils to go with your guacamole. And then for dinner, this day, we're going to have leftover turkey chili with avocados. So the way to take a phase 1 turkey chili, this is where we got it from in the beginning, and turn it into a phase 3 turkey chili is to add that healthy fat of those avocados. Remember, your exercise for phase 3 needs to be stress reducing, and it needs to really get you into your physical body. We need to consider something like yoga or a massage, or even one of my favorite stress reducers, physical skin stimulators, is dry skin brushing. So good for the liver. They've got studies on mood elevation to help with depression. But what we want to do in this is increase lymphatic flow so that the body can wash out toxins that it's newly released. We're on to day 6. We're getting through your 7 days of success. Day 6 on phase 3, for breakfast, you're going to have eggs. You're going to have spinach and mushroom omelet. Remember that you can have a whole egg on these days. It's all about your body burning those healthy fats. You're going to add peaches and some sprouted grain bread. And you can toast the bread. You can leave the bread untoasted. You can put your eggs on top. You cannot. You just want to make sure that you get that complex carb in there, that you get those healthy fats, and that you're doing lots and lots of veggies to make sure that you can stimulate the burn. Your snack on this day is hummus and green beans. You can use hummus that has sweet potatoes in it, hummus that has bell peppers in it. You know, there's all different kinds of hummus with garlic and Clamato olives. That's fine. You just want to make sure that there's no obesogens, no additives and preservatives in your hummus. We also provide you with a super fast, incredibly easy hummus recipe that you can make yourself. For lunch, we're going to have turkey burgers with sweet potatoes and peaches. For the snack on this day, your final snack of the day, you're going to have raw cashews with red bell peppers. But remember, veggies are unlimited. So even though this is your last snack for the day, if you get hungry later in the day, you can always snack on vegetables, raw or cooked. Some of my clients even like to make a big batch of vegetable soup so they can have some of that hot in the evening. For dinner, and this recipe is really easy to make, you're going to do the chicken fajita chili bowl. You're going to have quinoa and green salad with it. It's delicious, it's enriching, it helps your body burn fat, but it supports and stimulates those healthy hormones. I want you to incorporate again maybe some deep breathing, maybe some sauna, either dry or infrared, just ways so that your body can increase the blood flow, lower stress, and wash out that fat. The last and final day of your 7-day makeover, you're still on phase 3, but we're going to mix it up a little bit, do some different foods. We're going to do eggs with toast, tomato, and onions. One of my favorites as well. I think I love all the food, actually. You're going to make a super simple snack. This is a great one for a crash stash, a great one on the run. You're just going to have a nice handful of raw almonds. Remember, all the portions are specific to how much weight you have to lose. So the more you have to lose, actually the more food you're going to eat. For lunch, you're going to have a chicken and fajita bowl, some frozen berries. And then for snack, about 3 to 4 hours later, you're going to have some hummus and cucumbers. Cucumbers are unlimited. You can't do too many of those. And for your final dinner on the 7 days of the Metabolism Makeover, you're going to do eggplant stew with avocados. This is a great one, again, to kind of make a big batch and freeze it for other weeks on the fast metabolism diet. So a lot of times what I do is I make a big batch and I portion it out either for myself or for my family. I put it in the freezer and I write on it that this is what I'm going to do for, phase 3 the next time we cycle around. Make sure you got your massage in. Consider things like meditation, things that reduce the stress and stimulate the blood flow. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to the website. I want you to print out all of your material. Get your grocery shopping done. Get freezer bags, freezer containers. Make sure that you're ready and prepped. But a little trick that I tell a lot of my clients is I've given you a day by day for this 7-day metabolism makeover, but double or triple your batches, freeze them and label them, and use them the next time you cycle through that phase. All of my clients find that they have their favorite recipes. So if you go through this 7 days and there's something that maybe you don't like, maybe the fish or the chili, open the cookbook and find any dinner for phase 3 and replace it with the dinner that's there. Find any breakfast for phase 3 and replace it with the breakfast that's there. As long as you take what's in phase 1 and replace it with something from phase 1, or things that are in phase 2, replace it for things in phase 2, phase 3, replace it for things in phase 3, you're fine. The other kind of little thing to think about is that if you don't like a particular vegetable, let's say in a recipe I have broccoli and you don't like broccoli because you just love Brussels sprouts, it's fine to change a vegetable for a vegetable as long as it's in the same phase. So for example, you can change a phase 1 vegetable for a phase 1 vegetable, or a phase 2 vegetable for a phase 2 vegetable, but you can't change a phase 1 vegetable for a phase 1 grain. So it has to be in the same category and out of the same phase. So I hope you enjoyed having 7 days with me. Do exactly what I say. The plan works. It's laid out for you. But remember that they're your preferences. That's why we have hundreds of recipes on our website, in our books, available to you. Bon appetit!